There's a new bill in Congress that could make it really hard for you to register to vote. It's called the SAVE Act, and it was introduced by this guy, Chip Roy, a congressman from Texas. It requires you to provide proof of citizenship in order to register to vote, which makes sense, but here's the catch. The bill doesn't say you can provide copies or facsimiles, it just says the original documentation, which means that you may have to provide that in person at a elections office, and that would limit you from being able to register to vote online, or by mail, or at registration drives, and other methods. The point of this bill is to make sure that only citizens are registering to vote, which is already the case because non-citizen voting has been illegal in every state since 1926, and in 1996, Congress added penalties for non-citizens who try to register to vote. And it's not like non-citizens are falling through the cracks and actually voting. A study in Georgia showed that over a 25-year period, only a little over 1,000 people who were non-citizens tried to vote in state or federal elections, and they were stopped before they could do so. The bill also adds criminal penalties to election officials who register someone without proper proof of citizenship. So look, I'm fine with keeping it so that citizens only can vote, but this is going to make it more annoying for citizens to register, and it's not actually going to fix a problem that doesn't exist. Also, side note, do you think that non-citizens are trying to increase their interaction with the government right now by trying to vote and giving their personal information? That seems like the last thing that they would probably do, especially if they're undocumented. Now, this bill has not been voted on yet in the House, but if it is voted on, and let's say it passes the House, then it would go to the Senate, and you'd need 60 senators to vote for it to overcome a filibuster. There are only 53 Republicans in the Senate, so you would need 7 Democrats to agree to support this bill. Or you would need a majority of senators to agree to put aside the filibuster for this specific issue area. And in the past, senators have agreed to not do that for bills around voting. For being honest, it looks like a political play to get Democrats to vote against a bill that would prevent non-citizens from voting. However, non-citizens are already not allowed to vote. So what in reality would happen is that it would just make it harder for citizens, namely married women who had their names changed or young voters who may not have all the documentation at the ready to actually register to vote and cast a ballot. If you think about who mostly voted for Democrats in the last election cycle, it was young people and women. So in reality, this bill seems like a solution in search of a problem because it's not an actual problem that non-citizens are voting in huge numbers at all. If you have any questions about this bill, drop a comment or send me a DM. I'm happy to answer them, and follow this account for more government information.